Alright, continuing where we last left off, we pretty much finished with our booleans and combined all our shapes together, and we ended up with both sides which are symmetrized. And now what I did was, that I didn't do in the other video, I just added a simple material to all of our objects just to imitate the color scheme of our image. So now what we're going to do, we're going to be modeling this Visor. I don't even think I've heard of this monitor before, but we're going to model this nonetheless. So we're going to start things off with a cube, since that's the primary shape of it. So let's kind of just, well, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in local mode, and I'm going to bring this up in the background so that I can kind of sort of accurately shape it from the front view. And I'm just going to bring my image up a bit. Alright, now that's decent enough. So with the help of a mirror modifier, so that I don't have to make the adjustments twice, now I could just shape it to how the monitor is, or well, TV, because it is a TV. And I only have to do it once, which is pretty good. Alright, so now we got the basic shape. Now I kind of need to see a back view just to make sure we're going in the right direction. And we're going to also add these details as well. This aspect, this part right here, or vent, we're not really going to model that, because that can pretty much be achieved with a texture. And in this tutorial, I'm not really covering anything that has to do with texture, strictly modeling. But it could be something down in the future that I would definitely come back to show you. But in the meantime, let me load up another image so we can make out what the bottom is going to be. So even though I got that plotted out, so now I can start on the other section, which I know is also a cube. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Delete that and add a mirror modifier to make our lives easy. Alright, so from what I'm seeing, there's a cut right in the center, and pretty much what I'm going to want to do, I want to just bring this in just a little bit. Go to my side view. I want to extrude this out a bit. I'll say about right there. Oh, I forgot to put clipping on so it doesn't go through each other. So let me first go into here and square it off. I may have two sections of this model, which is why, yep, I got two sections of it, two separate faces, which aren't really needed. So now when I zero it off on the axes, it should be flat. It should be completely flat. Yep. There we go. So to finish this other part, it looks like it's rounded, so we're going to bevel. So we're going to select the edges in edge mode. Control B for bevel. Add one cut in there. Fix our settings a bit. Alright, and there we have it. And I guess while we're at it, we can change our shading to smooth, and fix our normals. Also, it looks like there's a little compartment that comes up. So what we're going to do there, we're going to extrude, cancel. We're going to scale this in. And we're going to put it just about in the center. We can always modify it also. And then we're just going to extrude it going straight up. And that's pretty much it. So also that we can add a subdivision surface on it. We're going to add some perimeter edges to maintain our shape and bevel. I mean, you can manually add them in if you like, but beveling seems like the more faster method. Alright, that looks pretty good. And since we're not really going to see much of the bottom, I suppose we can still fix that as well. Alright, so there's a little bit of a error going on right there. Ah, yes, there it is. We have a duplicate face. We get rid of that. We get rid of the problem. Actually, we have to turn this off. And we have another identical face in the center. So we're just gonna select that one, get rid of it. All right, now we're decent. Sometimes it's just the little things that kind of mess you up a little bit, but you just have to take your time just to fix it. Alright, so we're going to add a loop cut here just to fix off some of the detail, and this will help us maintain the shape. Actually, we're going to add one in the center, and we're just going to bevel it. And that's pretty good. And we're going to do the same here. And then we're going to add one a bit close. We can add a little softness to it. And then we're just going to finish it off with some loops along here. Get a couple in the center as well. And to really finish this part off, we're going to use grid fill. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna have to apply my mirror modifier to finish that. So now let's try it. First, see if there's any doubles. Alright, so Control F, grid fill. There we have it. Did a weird job of trying to get everything to look decent. So let's play around with the settings to see what we can get. Alright, that's not correct. That definitely will not work. Let's see if I... Yeah, it's very weird. Let's see. I'm only going to try a couple more times to see if something even will come out. There we go. That looks not bad. Is it quads? One, yep. It kept our structure all quads, so that's not a problem. And we're not going to do too much on the bottom, but we're going to do the exact same thing. But it seems as though something is wrong on the bottom. Alright, so what I'm just going to do to just remedy this problem, I'm just going to connect these faces, just snap them on each other, and put auto merge on right here. And that will fix our problem. Let me turn this off. Oh, I forgot to remove doubles. There we go. And so hopefully that'll fix our problem. And as you guessed it, we got the same thing over here. Luckily, it's not that much of a problem to really fix it. And you know, initially this is also showing a bit of cleaning up your mesh a little bit. Alright, so that's a perfect loop. So now we select that, Control F, grid fill. And that's pretty much going to be suitable for what our needs are going to be. It's still all quads. Alright, so let's get back. So now we have that at the bottom, and I'm going to modify our shape now that we got that, so I can disable my background image. So now, there we go. So now with my mouse, I can move this up a bit, and now I can try to focus on getting some of the necessary details. So at first glance, we can pretty much add an inset, take border off, get it like right in the middle, right there, and select the interfaces, and oh, I got my snapping off, forgot. And we could just extrude this inward. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now select the back, and we're just going to pull it in a bit. Now that's where our side view is going to come into play. Alright, so it is pretty thick on the side. So I'm going to just say about right about here. And then what we're going to do next, we're going to inset it. Bit of an inset. Let's say about right about here. And then we're going to select the middle faces and then just drag those out. Kind of bringing it down. And it seems like it's flat at the bottom, so we're going to do that. So we're going to make those come down. Alright. Now, we could use the Boolean modifier on here. And I'm going to change this to a back view. If I still have it. There we go. Back view. We could use a Boolean, but the Boolean is going to give us a bunch more to clean up. But to remedy that, we can add some of our own cuts in here. But let me make sure I got it correct. Let me just move this back a little bit. Like kind of that is sitting on it. Alright, that's good. So now we want to find this, we want to put enough cuts in here to get this space, and then we're going to extrude this inward. And once we get our loops the correct way, we're going to apply our mirror modifier because we don't want it on both sides. Alright, so add one roughly around here. And one is roughly here. So initially it's going to be an L shape. I could kind of bring it in here a little bit more, but I need one more cut. Alright, so let's see. So that's too much. I'm gonna add one more. So I'll say right here to here to here. Here, here, here. So this is all of what we're going to extrude inward. But before we do that, we're going to apply mirror modifier, and then just deselect all this. Then we're going to extrude it in. All this stuff is in the way, so I'm going to use that. Alright, so that's not bad. Not bad of an extrusion. And I'm going to put my snapping tool on, and I'm just going to make these edges. I guess that's not bad. Or rather, let me just move these in such a way where it's not really messing up the mesh. Line this up here. It's still pretty flat on the side, so yeah, sometimes it takes a little playing around, so I think that's fine right there. Yep. And then what I'll do next, I'll flatten those certain faces out. And we're going to get this compartment right here. Even though it can be done with a nice hefty texture, but you know, that's not really our focus for right now. So we're going to add in another additional loop cut. We can add in one along over here. Then we're going to extrude this inward a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do a bit of an inset, just a tiny bit. Then I'm going to extrude it in. Alright, so we got that part going. So now we're going to get this part right here on the side. So let's see. We're going to add an inset. Let's see, maybe not an inset. I guess we could do that, and then we'll modify it accordingly afterwards. Because it looks like this is going to continue to go along right here. So let's add that inset, and we're going to extrude it in. Alright, that's still good. Now we're going to add in, it's really hard to see, so I'm kind of using my imagination. I'm going to say those are like cylinder shapes. So we're going to have it as a separate mesh, as cylinder. We don't want 32 vertices, so we're going to change that to about 12. Or actually, let's say about 8. 8 vertices is pretty decent. Now we just need to line it up. Let's continue to scale, and we're going to definitely duplicate these. But it is really hard to make out what those components are for. I know they're for certain parts of the TV to connect certain devices to it, but our reference image is very, very hard to really realize what it is. So I'm just going to continue to scale, and I'm going to duplicate and move it to the side. And since you're not really going to see much of that, I'm just going to duplicate that. Actually, I'm going to combine those together with Control J, and then I'm going to select this one. Then I'll just Shift D it, duplicate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Alright, so that's looking good. It is still very hard to really tell what that is. This definitely would be a good use of textures, or to just project the actual image from right here, since we have a front, a back, and a side. But that'll be for another day. So to really finish this one off, we want to add these two audio. These look like these are audio components. So I'm gonna add a cylinder, and I'm going to change it to a line of view. See, the one thing when reference images kind of, help you to a certain point, you really have to use your best judgment, because or else they're really going to mislead you in what you're trying to do, unless you have, a good number of reference images on you, or if you're able to take pictures of your own. Alright, so I just want to duplicate that one more time. I really can't make out what that is. It's extremely hard to see. You have to forgive me for my reference image. But I do know right here. Let me see if I add my subdivisions. Alright, so my subdivisions are kind of messed up. So I'm going to fix that up real fast. So one thing that'll definitely come out of our shape is that it remains crisp. At least, when it comes to rendering. So let's see what we get here. We definitely are going to need another one to add here. And here as well. And it's definitely a good thing to try to model things yourself, sometimes without having to use a boolean, because you'll definitely learn a lot from playing around, a lot of trial and error in terms of getting certain shapes. So let me see, perhaps I could just move this one down and kind of fix up our issue a bit. And let's see if we change our smoothing, our shading options. Alright, so it's starting to come along. And add one along here to make this retain its shape. Alright, so it's still looking not bad. So initially we can kind of call this a starter's video for modeling a TV. I mean, yeah, simple TV. Oh, and I forgot to add some detail along the front. So that's not too bad. not too bad. As I keep saying, definitely a job for texturing in this case. I'm just softening up over here so that's not too sharp. Alright, so that's pretty decent. Now let's see what it looks like all together with our object. So that's actually not too bad. And let's see what else do we have here. So before we go, we just want to see if we can fix some of the shading. Okay, yep, there we go. There we have it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video. My apologies on the texture on the reference image not really giving the best view to really get all the details of what these certain parts are. But if you enjoyed the video, definitely look forward to the other ones that will follow after this. And I will definitely be posting the finished product on BlendSwap. So, and I'll post that in the description, so in case you want to play around with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely subscribe, like, share with your friends. Let me know what you think about the video, and I'll hear from you in the next one. Alright,